Hello and welcome back to another episode of Doctor in a Bikini, and welcome for the first time ever, freaking Ezra Sosa, my friend. How are you?
Hey guys, hello. Hey everyone.
Princess Diaries, thank you for being here today, Wave.
Yes, I'm doing so great. You know how much I freaking love you and how close we got on tour. So when you said to do this, I was like, we definitely have to do this today.
Okay, wait, you're amazing. Which, really quick, for anyone that just saw my Princess Diaries wave, I feel like people know, but in case they're new, I'm mid competition season, so that's why I have like tan stopping on my wrist, not because I literally thought that this looked cute. So
What's crazy is when we started this Zoom, I like clocked it. Oh, she did not blend. Like she did not blend, ladies and gentlemen.
like we know her better than that. Well, yeah, you've literally never seen me like this shade of tan at all. And this isn't even tan, but you've only seen me like deep tour pasty white.
Well,
So
to be fair, you've also only seen me pasty white too, so
I guess it's
there
true.
was an era on tour where there weren't like no one was requesting spray tans, and like I got lazy, so I was looking my natural color for once. I think we
You
all were like we all were just kind of
you
like
looked
living natural color.
I don't know how you looked snatched the entire tour, so I don't know what you're talking about. Because I looked back at photos and I'm like, I could have put more effort in, but you were always
Yeah,
to
no,
go.
yeah, no, yeah. I think it's safe to say that like we just have to like forgive how we looked on tour
Yeah.
sometimes because
But no,
you're like what's going on?
you're so sweet that you were so stoked and willing to come on here because, like, full transparency, which will be the nature of today's episode, I was so nervous to ask you, even though you literally told me, like, text me, I know. I don't know. I think it's just like, yeah, I don't know. I
I
was
feel
just
like that just says like the type of person you are. Like you're just so humble. Like
nervous.
you're just so incredibly humble. Yeah, like you would. Honestly, you said that. I was like, honestly, too, I would be lying if I didn't think that. Like I definitely was like, oh, she's probably like so excited right now. I was like, you just bring
Well,
so much life and energy.
oh, thank you. Okay. While I'm gassing you up, which back up because ADD brain here. For those who don't know, if they live under a rock, Ezra Sosa, obviously I met him formally on the Dancing with the Stars tour. So if they're new here or if they don't know for whatever reason, I don't know why they wouldn't, but they should know you because you're amazing. You've been with Dancing with the Stars for 4 years, right?
Yes. Been
And
on the show. Yes. KS.
and you were the first Latino LGBTQIA plus pro dancer on Dance with the Stars because we also can't ignore the fact that it is Pride Month. And you were recently seen co-hosting Hulu's first ever Get Real House. I mean, what the heck? Hello, celebrity.
Hello. We're like on the Z list. I've made it. We're
Oh my God, no, you were not. And you are literally fulfilling, well, I feel like multiple of your childhood dreams, but you're also working with Press Play Dance Convention, right? Love that for you.
all. You're nailing all the things. It's insane.
You
When you
know,
say that, like it's really cool. Like to hear all that come out of your mouth is like it's really cool to hear.
oh, well, yeah, someone should gas you up if they haven't already today.
It's so weird because like in like this past year, I've accomplished not just like one of my dreams, it's so many. Like including like the press play of it all, because that's like I'm working with people that I grew up taking class from. So now I'm teaching alongside them and like there's been so many full circles this year. It's just been blessing on blessing. It's insane. I feel very fortunate.
I love that. Well, honestly, and I don't even mean this. You know me, I always tell the truth, so I'm not just gassing you up to gas you up, but I feel like if anyone deserves it, you do because you also are such a humble person and I feel like you from the second I met you, which this actually ties into a question, you always made me feel so comfortable and you were just yourself and I love when people bring that energy because it makes it so easy to just want to cheer you on and be your friend and just like so it makes everyone around so proud to watch you because I just feel like you're so deserving of all the things that you want. So I don't know. I'm just, you
Do you
know.
remember when we first met? Because I do.
So, okay, one of the questions is literally,
Semifinals or was it finale?
no, it was right before the finale. And that was
Yeah.
literally one of the questions was like, what was your guys' first impression of each other? Don't hold back is what it's called.
So don't hold back. Should we start there? Do you want to start there?
Let's do it.
Um, I just remember you're just so kind and our current PT like brought you in just like to fill you out, like to see if you like blended with us, whatever. Because like really when you come on tour with us, you're a part of the family. And you know that, like you 100% are. So when I met you, I just remember like feeling your light and your energy, but also like I can tell you were giddy. Like I can tell that like you were very excited to be there and not like I assumed you were a fan of the show, but I was like, okay, like I can tell like she probably have seen the show before because I can just see how good you were. And I just remember like I just feel like leaving that and Gina was like, how's she? And I was like, I love her. Like she's the best.
Aw. Honestly, that's such an accurate way to describe me. I feel like a lot, in which I was just super excited to be there also, but like, yeah, I feel like a lot of people when they first meet me, they're sometimes they're like, this bitch is too happy. Like,
Like give
and
this bitch another Xanax. Like she's smiling again.
but no, yeah, that's, oh, I love it. That was your first impression. That literally, my first impression of you when I came back. So Gina asked you obviously how you thought of me, and my husband Connor, he was like, "All right, so give me the dirt. Like, what's your first impression, everyone?" And I was like, "There's honestly no
That
dirt."
is shit. Wait, I have to clock you. That
Yeah.
is so real. That like when I first joined the show, they're like, all my classmates were like, so what's the tea? Like, what's it like? I think that's so real that he asked that. Okay, sorry, I cut you off. You were saying?
No, 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 you're fine. I was like, honestly, there's no tea. Everyone was just so nice. And like, obviously, it's weird when you meet people for the first time, like, as far as like, oh, this is just a real human in front of me in live form, you know? Which for me, I'm just not a very fangirly person, but that was weird because you're right, I did watch the show and I did grow up dancing. So obviously, even just as a dancer, I was like, man, these people are freaking cool. But really, just like you were just so nice. And I remember I said to Connor, I was like, he's gonna be my buddy on the road.
Oh,
I
he's
know. I
gracious.
know. Didn't think that this was gonna be us gassing each other up for an hour, but surprise.
I feel like this is what this is gonna be.
Speaking of surprises and speaking of tour,
Yes.
so I didn't tell you before the camera, but I
Yes.
kind of,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I'm gonna tell you and then I'm gonna bleep it out.
Okay, bleep it out.
Ezra hears it first. Okay, so I told
Wait,
Ezra
can they
before we
try to
started,
guess?
what's that?
Can they try to guess?
Yeah, guess.
Wait, is it
Guess
an artist?
it is an artist.
Is it like Miley Cyrus?
It's not Miley Cyrus.
Okay. Is it like the Jonas Brothers?
Not the Jonas Brothers. You were closer with a singular female. Sorry, my my
I
word.
honestly singular like Beyonce. Like I don't know who's on tour right now. Who's going on tour?
She
Not
is on
Katie.
tour right now.
Oh, don't say Katie. Do not say. Is it Katie?
Not Katie. It's not Katie.
No, genuinely thank God because you were on that tour. We had a problem, Shannon. I'm like, we're gonna log off to Zoom. Okay, I give up. You have to tell me.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
So the person that I am going on tour with is
Oh my. Wait, what?
yeah.
You gotta give me a plug. Like, you better give me a ticket, Shannon. Are
I'm
you
gonna be
kidding?
texting you like no,
That's so amazing too, because I know a lot of her dancers.
really?
Yeah, that's amazing, Shannon. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Girl, that's a definite upgrade from us.
Oh my
Ladies,
gosh, no. Oh,
Shannon, you're gonna love your life because you're gonna get to do 2 shows and you're gonna have a whole week off.
oh my gosh.
It's such a game changer. You're gonna love it. I'm so excited for you.
I honestly, like, real talk, I got so nervous because not of the tour, because I think honestly, it's easy PT hat. Like everyone is a patient, everyone is a body. So it's like easy to like get in the job and just treat it like the job and just treat the
Right.
human. But I'd be lying if I said that the perfectionist in me doesn't want to do things correctly, which the whole Virgo energy vibe. And then also, literally, I told you right before we got on tour, competition, and then potentially literally leaving to go on tour for an extended period of time from that competition. Like the control freak in me yesterday, that's putting it at extreme, but like I was just so excited but overwhelmed because it was like go, go, go. But I'm definitely gonna miss you guys too. I mean, you guys were my first tour, so that's always gonna hold a special place in my heart. So
They said that to me about like they told this to me, and I'm gonna say this to you. You'll never forget your first. And they told that to me about my partner this year. They're like, "You'll never forget your first." And I'm like, "Babe, I'll definitely never forget my first." But
Okay.
honestly too, like, I think what really makes you so special, and I hope you just continue this, like, no matter how crazy your life is, it's really your energy and your work ethic. Like, really, when everyone would be lazy on tour, you would be holding the ship. Like, you would be always on and always professional. And as someone who's been a part of this industry for so long, I recognize that. So I hope like you go to do that amazing opportunity, and I won't say it because you don't have to bleep me out anymore. But really, like, it's just know that you deserve to be there, and that drive is what got you there.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, wise words from Ezra, I swear. We haven't even
God,
like hit the deep end part of the podcast episode yet. Oh, thank you. Seriously. I'm gonna remember that for real because I feel like we all deserve hearing that. And it just, yeah, I appreciate you. Um,
you have
okay,
to give me the tea. You gotta give me the scoop when you're
a
done.
100%. I'll text you. I'll text you some selfies, just
Yes.
check in. Okay, wait, really quick, because you were just gassing me up saying like basically your favorite thing. That was another question because we got like a bunch from you. I don't know if you know this, but people love you.
I freaking love people. This is great.
Yeah.
Love mutual here.
They asked me, what's your most favorite thing about Ezra? And I took that in two ways. So, one, I'll say, as a dancer, to answer this person's question, Ezra was always serving face. I mean, you went full out. I love watching your facial expressions on tour. I honestly felt so privileged to get to like witness like before you go on and your little sassy snap. I was like, this is the best part of the
I'm
intro.
always like this before. I'm like, like out of nowhere, it just comes.
Honestly, true. Such a superpower, the fact that you can come to life so quickly. I was like,
Even when the body wasn't giving, the face always has to. It always
100%.
has to give.
But I will say my favorite thing about you as a non-dancer, like just as a human, because and I told Ezra this before we started the podcast, but I want today's episode. Obviously, we're starting with Dancing with the Stars, but I want it to be about Ezra the human because I truly just think that you are just such an inspirational good human being. And I love bringing driven, good people on the podcast. So that's why I wanted you here today. But as my favorite thing from the tour about you, I will say, because I don't think I've said this on a podcast episode yet, you were the first one whenever I had a hard day on tour, you just sensed it and you just gave me a hug and you just made me feel like I had a friend on the road. So I just feel like you are so good. And I kind of said this already at being authentically you and just supporting those around you, even when you have nothing in the gas tank, like you said. I witnessed it, every single fan, and you meant it. I feel like you always showed up as your best self and just gave people the love that you know they deserve. And I feel like that's just so natural for you. So I'd say that's my favorite thing to the person who asked that about Ezra. Yeah.
I also feel like when you go out there and you have so much appreciation and love for the people that support you, you just want to give it back, like no matter who it is. And even the days that get like really long, like days when I wouldn't see fans were the days like I was actually sick. Like I actually couldn't meet people, but like when you get to meet them, like you just see their spark in their eye and you're just like, dang, like I have so much like love for you too. It's like insane. It's like so mutual.
Yeah. What would you say, okay, for people that maybe aren't aware of you and your history of Dancing with the Stars, I feel like this is a good pivotal point just to give people the picture of you. So, can you start literally from the beginning? Tell me about what it was like growing up, where you're from. You don't have to get like, I don't want you to include the cute details that every single podcast episode asks you, but I want to hear yes, where you're from, what that was like for you, because I think a lot of listeners that submitted questions, they were honestly just so excited to hear that, to hear from somebody who is so authentically themselves, which is hard to do on television. It's hard to do when you are wearing the heavy crown of representing, like I said, you're the first Latino LGBTQIA plus dancer. So, I mean, I just want to start from the beginning on where you're from and what that's been like for you.
Yeah, I mean, my parents are immigrants, so and I think that's something like now recently I'm just like appreciating so much more. My mom came from Mexico, my dad came from Argentina. They met at a college called BYU. So that's basically where I'm from. I'm from Utah, I'm from Provo, which is like so many other pros from the show. Growing up, my love for dance like quickly came about when my sister just wanted to go to dance, and I just wanted to be with my sister. You got to meet my sister, right, Stephanie?
Stephanie, yep.
So like growing up, she was my best friend, and she still is. We live together. So like whenever she got into dance, I had to be there too. So this dance studio she went to, like they weren't accepting boys. So I had to go to a different dance studio called Center Stage, which is the dance studio that all these dance like I just happened to go to the right one, like thank freaking God. So I started taking ballet, and my teacher was like, "How do you feel about doing ballroom, like dancing with girls?" And I was like, "Cooties, disgusting," which is so ironic now, which is like so insane. But that's when I started doing ballroom, and like I always feel like when I started dancing ballroom too, like I just had an extra spark in it. I just had that sassy energy, and that's just like really how I channeled it. I started working professionally when I was really young. So after I started dancing, when I started doing like YouTube videos when I was like 8, but at 13 is when I booked my first like major movie. It was for a Hallmark movie called Dear Dumb Diary, and I actually booked it with everyone in my family, which was like so fun. So it was like all my siblings on set. Um, that was the first time I worked professionally, and then from there, I went on to do America's Got Talent with my dance studio. Also, like side note, my dance studio had us hustling. My dance director, she would always just have us like working like different convention jobs or like at New Skin, at doTERRA, like they need a quick little dance number. She would hire us. So like at a young age, we were working professionally. Like we didn't know it, but like yes, like we were. So when I did AGT for 2 seasons, and then I did World of Dance. I don't know if you saw World of Dance; it's not on air anymore. For 2 seasons, and then did So You Think You Can Dance, and that's really when I first made my mark in the industry because that's when I was working with all these professionals and all these camera and these producers that now I work with on Dancing with the Stars. Like those relationships have carried on to that show. Did So You Think, and then that's when I started tour life. After So You Think, did my first tour with So You Think, and then I went to Bachelor, and then there was like this weird dry period where I was still living in Utah. And this is when I was really having a hard time with my individuality because that's when I was like, I'm gay, but I'm in a place where I feel stuck. Like in Utah, I just felt stuck. And um, I sat down with my parents, I was like, it's time to move to LA. So I moved to LA. Struggled so hard because I moved during the pandemic, like made no money and just wasted money. It was like insane, but I'm really glad I did because it taught me how to be more independent because at the time I was very dependent on my family. So it taught me to be independent, how to care for myself, how to be my own adult. I mean, you know me, I still struggle with that sheet. It's still a learning process.
We all do.
Uh, and then I was just a year, just like me booking my own jobs in LA. I did like RuPaul's Drag Race. I was just doing like little things here and there. And then that's when I got Dancing with the Stars. How I got Dancing with the Stars too is like insane. I said yes to a project. I won't get into it too much. I said yes to a project and already signed on to it. And then mid project, they reached out and they're like, we're letting you know like you're a top contender for the season. And I was like, oh. So what I did, I left that project. I left a job. It was like a job for 6 months. I won't get into it, but like I left it because I saw this chance I could possibly get on Dancing with the Stars. And for the honestly first time in my life, I chose me. I chose me and my dreams, and I took a risk, and I'm so glad I did because I joined the show after that. So Dancing with the Stars did my first year as like a troupe, but I was a pro. It's weird. We don't have to get into that. We're actually going to forget about that era. And then the next season, that's when I was on troupe again. The season after troupe, though, was quite interesting. I wasn't asked back to the show at all at no capacity, but they brought me into associate choreograph numbers, and then that's when I actually first became a pro. Was when Artem Chigvintsev at the time got COVID. So I'm on a plane from a project, and I'm flying, and I'm getting a call from Dina, and I'm like, "What the hell? Like, I already got this call. Like, I'm already not going." She was reaching me, and she told me the situation, and I'll be a pro for like it was insane. Danced with Charity Lawson, which like that experience in itself was just so remarkable. And that's when I knew I was meant to be a pro. Like, I was kind of scared doing it because I was like, sheesh, like, what if I'm not about this life? Like, what if I'm really going to do it and I'm going to be terrible? I walked in that room and I knew exactly what to do. I didn't question myself. I didn't question my ability to teach. Didn't question anything about myself. And I really think that resonated with Charity. We got along so well. And then the year after, became a pro. Was my first official year as a pro. Um, Infamously danced with convicted felon Anna Delvey, which is like a whole other lore. And it was really hard because I was paired with someone who was extremely controversial. And at that time, no one was really posting the way I was posting. I'll say that. But when we started dancing, I was just posting everything and openly, like you know me, I'm just very an open book, and I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna like take the PR training down the toilet and just post whatever happens because I know like our journey on the show is gonna be shortly lived, so we're gonna make the most bang from her for a buck. She was eliminated first, which was devastating for me because I thought I put my job at jeopardy, and also like the way I was posting, I was like, oh yeah, they're definitely not gonna ask me back after this. But it turned out to be a huge positive because it then brought a different side of the internet to me, and thus, like that, thus like the whole TikTok era began for me. And that's when that's basically like my initiation was Anna Delvey, and then going on tour, which I think this last tour was such a pivotal moment of my life because truly I learned so much, not just about me, but about myself as a performer, as a personality, as an individual. Um, was This tour is extremely hard, and you know that, but I always describe it as a marathon. So hard to get through, but once you finished, it was the most rewarding experience. And I think the product of that was everyone that came to watch. It was so hard not to dance full out because the audiences were insane. Like the audience were like some of the biggest I've ever heard in my life. And yeah, like now we're just riding that trailblaze, whatever you want to call it, trailblazing moment that I had, and continuing on to another season. Let's go. Let's do it.
Aw. I love that there were so many themes that I could unpack with everything you said. And thank you for just sharing all that because it's just so fun to listen to you. You said this tour, you learned so much about you. What are some things, because that was a question from the listeners. What are some things that you did learn from this tour?
I think the thing I learned was boundaries.
Mm.
Like being okay, not being okay with other people, but also like just being able to stand up for yourself. I think really when you are coexisting with nine other castmates and you're truly living together, and especially with the crew, you have to really like have prioritize your own personal space and peace, and that starts with your own boundaries. So I really think that's something that Gleb taught me. Word Gleb taught me how to speak up for him, for myself, because like Gleb, he definitely knows how to speak up for himself. And if you see, he always gets what he wants, and that's what he told me. I was like, period, I'm gonna start doing that. And I'm like, okay, period. So like you're telling me like when you voice something and someone, like they're gonna, oh great, this is awesome. I didn't know it worked like that. But I also think like growing up as a person, you really do not, especially like as a performer, like as a growing up in a dance studio, you do not know how to find your own voice. So thank gosh for Gleb because he helped me find that courage to stand up for myself. As far as like highest, I think honestly the highs were like kind of coexist with the lows. Like I think the lows were like when the shows were just stacked and like we just didn't really see an end in sight. But the high was the fact that we did it together. And I think that's what made it so special. And it's the bond that we all created on this tour, which is like unlike any other I've had with any, like I feel so connected to the cast, like even now. Like last night I was with Britt and it's just like like you always just feel connected to those people, like even with you. Um, and I think that's my high is just like truly like the sense of family that we had. And that's what really like we never really could have that if we didn't have the lows. Like that was essential to have the lows. Cause like those lows were tough, but we're like, hey, we're not going through it alone, we're going through it together. And that translated on stage too.
100%. Yeah, I can totally co-sign all that. I don't know if you witnessed it or not, either backstage or after the last show. I cried so
You
much.
were crying like a little biatch. Like you were crying.
I
You were
was.
a mess. But we also like told each other too. I was like, I'm not gonna cry, but the last day I'm gonna be a mess. And you're like, so am I. I feel like we both like were forgiving for each other because we knew how bad we were gonna cry.
Yeah, I delivered on my promise for sure.
Yeah, so did I. So did I.
Honestly, I think part of it was really, you mentioned the marathon because Connor, I said this to him. when he finished his first marathon, he got emotional. And I think it was just literally, it was the fact that we made it also combined with, oh, I'm gonna miss everybody. And it was like the perfect storm of Kim Kardashian ugly cry that even the next morning, oh my God, that's why I haven't said this to anybody. Even the next morning, I was so swollen because for one, like I had some good food. I
No,
had some
we were eating like
margaritas.
Tex-Mex, like we had our drinks, like we went in the night up. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, I was just happy to be there. I was missing everybody. The next morning, I was so puffy that even Dave, because I thought I wasn't gonna see anybody like on the morning shuttle to the airport. He very politely told me I looked a little peckish. Never heard that before, but I was like, oh, okay. He's like, yeah, you've looked better. I was like,
People don't
fact.
understand. So Dave is our tour manager and like just some sassy old gay man. Like he just like unfiltered, like would just snap out. Like he's the most funniest person ever, but he will be able to give you an insult but make you laugh. Like it's just how it is. It's interesting.
Yeah, so that was delightful, but that's how swollen I was the next morning. I was like, okay, Dave, I'm just gonna put my hat on and sunglasses and just get onto the plane. And
Were you guys flying? No, you guys went to the airport at the same time?
yeah, that's why. Aside from the tour, you were talking more about putting yourself first and putting yourself out there. What would you say? This is kind of a fun question, then I want to give you like a more serious one. Serial? Oh my God. People listening are gonna love this because literally peak week brain is so real. The words are just
I'm still working on speaking. Like that's basic human function. Like I think we won't get there
accurate
at least for another 20 years. Like we'll
there.
be able to talk fluently, just not now, and that's okay.
If you didn't do that, just a fun one, where do you think you would be? Like in
I
an
would
alternate
probably like
universe,
not I honestly think I wouldn't be on the show anymore.
really. If you
Yeah.
had done like a different project or like not even dance at all, you mean?
Oh, like if I didn't dance at all, what would I be?
Or
If I
like, so remember when you were like, I said, I pivoted and I took this opportunity.
Oh my gosh, yeah, where would I be? I would be on a residency in Vegas. Yeah, and it was like a 6-month contract that ended up being like for those dancers, like they're still there to this day. So I'd still be in this residency.
Oh, that's crazy to think of. And then we never would have met.
No, and I would like it's actually insane how just like one moment changes your life. And I remember getting that call. Like I'll never forget them telling me they're like welcome to the family. I just looked in the mirror and I was like, your life is going to change forever. And it did. It's insane.
Do you feel like those things are destined to happen?
Because I think if you want something and you really work towards it, the universe will reward you for it.
Agreed.
So the weirdest thing was like my mentality was I'm gonna do the show. Like I'm gonna do it. And like my body was reacting like I was gonna do it. My spirit was reacting like I was gonna do it. And then I did it. Like I didn't know how or when or whatever. Like I knew I was gonna end up in that ballroom that year. Even
Yeah.
though like to start, the odds were against me. Like it really was. Like I just didn't even know. But I think that really just tells you how powerful we are as people and like wherever we put our energy, that really serves purpose in our life.
Absolutely. What would you say are some things internally that you're struggling with? We talked about boundaries and being better about setting boundaries, but what are some other things or current themes in your life right now that you feel like you're still actively working on?
It's I think privacy, and I think you know that too. I especially like going on tour, um, you don't really have privacy. You only have like your bunk, and for me too, like I was posting a lot of my life on social media, and I think it got to a point where it just like got exhausting because like you're really just putting yourself out there, like you're trying to be authentic, you're trying to be yourself. I also think what I'm things I'm struggling with right now is like we're not in the season, so like the stuff I'm posting on social media isn't as engaging, or like people aren't as engaged in the pros lives or the show's life because we're not on air, and that's just the nature of what we do. And a lot of the pros, like we go through a depression when we're not on season because there is such a high, and it's like a drug. Like we always call it like a drug. Like when you're on the show, like your life is epic. That's like your tour is like epic, but then you go from all that to like your home. and you're like, it's weird. The only thing that's different this time is like I'll walk on the street and people would recognize me. And that in itself, it's like subconsciously when I go out now, I'm always just like cautiously not on the lookout for it, but I'm just like always clocking myself because I would hate to be like a negative person and meet someone that admires me. So I'm always just like it for me, like when I go out, I feel like I have to just have a little bit more positivity and have more energy going outward. Because like there's days where I'm just like pissed and I'll meet someone, I'm like, dang, like I just wish I wasn't like so angry right now, or like I'd have a better interaction with them. I think those are things that I'm currently struggling with right now.
Yeah.
But it's also if like the way to finish this off is like the reason why I'm struggling with this is because I've never dealt with this before. So
Yeah.
like, even like me talking to my close friends about it, they're like, you'll get the hang of it. It's just like you just have to get used to this life a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I can't relate to that, but I have always said this. I feel such, I don't know if empathy is the right word, maybe, because I think any normal person, there's days where we just, you see memes about it all the time. Like we just want to go out in our trash panda, uh sweatshirt and sunglasses and just like looking like a total slum and you just want no one to recognize you. You don't want to run
Yeah.
into Target. Like that's a very
That's
human thing to just not want to people. So I feel like that's such an unspoken expectation that some people have on people they don't even know, that you never know what they're going through or what they're feeling because they're human. So I think you do handle it with so grace, and it's so sweet that you have that thought consciously of you want to do better. Because to me, it's like I can only expect from someone how I would expect to be treated. And there's days we talked about this, I'm very much a people person. I love talking with people, but there's days maybe I'm just sad for no reason or I'm just blah for no reason. And that's I don't know. That's a lot. So I commend you and all your friends that you're mentioning for saying, "Oh yeah, you'll get the hang of it," because I think you already have dealt with that with such grace. So the fact that you feel like you can get any better, I'm like, literally how?
I mean, you can always be better, but also too like I'm so lucky to be where I am. So like I just want to make sure I make the most of it because I don't want to be the person that didn't deserve like there's a part of me that feels like I don't deserve any of this and like it's just luck because that is a huge part of why I am where I am. Like I would be lying if I said I wasn't lucky because really am and I'm really fortunate. So I feel like I that's always in the back of my head and I just want to be able to put like the work behind it and
Yeah.
like whatever way I can. If it's like an interaction with someone like, hey, I'm gonna give the interaction in positively. It's like that person deserves it.
Yeah.
But it's just I also think I also feel like you kind of feel the same way, and I feel like a lot of people in this industry feel the same way, where like it's just the nature of what it is.
I want to dig a little deeper into what you said. We had a telepathy moment, and that was so weird. I was literally going to ask you, do you feel like sometimes you just don't deserve certain things or that you ever feel guilty? And then you talked about deserving. So, can you talk a little bit about that? Because I think a lot of people in their own scale struggle with, deserving, whether it's a partnership or a promotion or good things happening. Can you dig into that a little bit about maybe, I don't know if that's how this first pro season has meant to you. I don't know if that's when it hit you. I don't know if it tour life is when it hit you, but when do you feel like that was a theme for you of fighting with the no, I do deserve this lesson?
I think when I first joined the show, I had imposter syndrome, 100%. And it was like I'm dancing on the same floor as Val Trumkovsky and Daniela and like all these people that I grew up watching, admiring, Jenna, like all these people. I just like I couldn't even believe I was stepping on the same floor as them. And of course, I'm gonna be like, oh my god, like I'm the odd one out. Like I'm new here. Like I don't deserve to be here. Oh my gosh, like it also, and then also like just like tweaked me mentally. Like I feel like it kept me from being myself. But really what gave me relief from that thought was knowing that other pros felt the same way when they joined the show. And I think when we go into a show like Dancing with the Stars, there is that high pressure and that high intensity and the fact that there's only I mean how many there was like 13 of us, 13 dancers that get the chance to do that. Like there is that pressure where you're like holy sheesh, like millions of people would want to be in my shoes right now. Do I deserve this? Am I really the one person that deserves this? But I noticed the more I sat in that thought, it kept me from being myself. So at some point, I had to be like, you know what? I do deserve this, and I'm meant to be here. And if I wasn't meant to be here, I wouldn't be here. And ever since then, I really feel like that's when my personality just started coming out of my shell a little bit more.
Would you say that that was around the time too? Because I mean, I don't know formally what the timeline looked like for you, and I never know what's too personal of a question to ask with because
I don't
everyone's
know if you, Shannon, you know me, like you literally know me, like
well, would you say that that timeline lined up with when you actually formally came out to everybody? Because I guess for me, it's like I I don't love that it has to be a big thing for people. So that's why maybe I don't ask, when did you come out? Because to me, it's like I don't meet you and say, hi, my full name is this, my sexual preferences are this. Like, so I don't expect that everyone always has a specific story. So maybe that's why I shy away from it. But can you tell everyone listening a bit more about that?
yeah, I mean, it definitely went hand in hand to my coming out because, I mean, if I wanted to be my truest self, I had to be open about myself. And that's a huge part of me that at the time, I really just wasn't showcasing online. And it just stemmed from like growing up. I would just post things that may be girly, and I'll be open about this. Like my mom would be like, "Ooh, you sound a little girly," and then like subconsciously, like that's not okay. So I just would like, "Okay, man." Like I would just like lower my voice. I think I had that mentality for the longest time. When I joined Dancing with the Stars, it kind of carried into that because I'm like, oh my god, like, I was still in the closet, I'm like, "Oh my god," and they obviously knew, like, I was an idiot if I thought anyone didn't know. You would have one conversation with me, like, "There's literally literal glitter coming out of your ear, bruh." But I was like, in my head, I was like, "I have to be the next Val, I have to be the next Max." But then, really when I met JoJo, like, she really gave me the courage to come out, and I didn't really think about why it was so important until I did, and when I came out, it was really, like, the scariest feeling. And I honestly too, like, it's so scary, but and this sounds like so bad to say, but it really like wasn't a big deal. And I think that's why it's so special. That's why, like, for me, like I didn't, I was like, oh, okay, so I'm fine. Like, this is chill. Wait, okay, wait. I can coexist in my world like this. This is like fine. And also, too, I'd be stupid if I didn't recognize the amount of people in the LGBTQIA plus community that didn't have that, like that don't have that. So the fact that I was able to do that and be like, this is fine, I'm okay. The only pushback I had, the only back push I had was for my family, and it was also them battling what they believed in growing up, and so seeing now I'm coming out and now myself. I remember going into the next season, a producer pulls me to the side. Her name's Quinn. She was like, "What are you doing? Like your dancing is like so like amazing this season. Like, what are you doing?" That's literally like how she look talks, and I freaking love Quinn. I don't know if you met her. Like freaking and I was like, my immediate answer was like, okay, probably like trained harder, I lift more weights, like whatever. But when I really had to sit with it, I think it was like, no, it's I'm more comfortable in my skin. So when I step on that floor, I'm fully me, and it's just there's no more freeing feeling. And I think my family seeing that too helped them understand and kind of open their eyes, being like, he's okay. And if he's okay and he's happy, so am I. And that's when my family came around.
Oh, I love that. You, the way oh my gosh, imagery that just came to mind as far as, because you hear people, dance teachers, or if you're watching a show, or even for me as a posing coach, one of my favorite cues for people is don't come onto the stage with a question mark, come onto the stage with an exclamation point. It's a statement.
Yes, make a statement.
And I feel like that's exactly what it was for you. It wasn't like, I'm not sure of who I'm supposed to be. It changed to, no, this is just who I am and I'm here. And I love that you were able to have that moment and to grow into that and that you can just be yourself because I don't know, and just and seeing that the world loves and accepts you for it. I hope that you feel that love on more days than anything. Because I think there are a lot of people, like you said, that maybe they haven't reached that point yet or they haven't found their community yet to where they feel like they can make a statement and it is more of a question. So I know that you inspire so many people. A lot of people are asking what has this Pride Month meant to you? And then what is a piece of advice that you would give to someone in honor of Pride Month? I got both of those so many times. So I feel like it would be a disservice if I didn't ask you those.
Yeah, I mean, I think what this Pride Month in particularly means to me, I think this is how I see it. Like in my career, it's really starting to flourish and like I'm really becoming a public figure, which is so amazing and great. And as a queer person in this political climate, it's kind of rare that that's happening because the community is truly like under attack with our rights and everything like that. So, I really just wanted to make this Pride Month a month where I could be an advocate and a voice for people in the community that just don't have that or feel like they don't. And I think it really just comes to like me just being myself. Like really, it's what it comes around to be. Um, and my advice for people is like it times are tough for the community and I definitely recognize that. And I think there's not a day where I don't sympathize for other queer people that don't have the same opportunities that I do, because that's a part of the imposter syndrome that I feel every single day. Um, but my advice is just to be proud in yourself and know that if you are out and you're proud, the amount of strength and courage it takes to do that makes you such a strong person. And use that strength to continue to fight for your rights and for your freedoms, and especially for your community. And especially for Pride Month, get lit and get drunk and celebrate, because really that's what Pride is all about. And that's what our community is all about. And there's no better way to fight for rights with joy and love. And that's what I really love about this community.
Oh, so well said and well represented, seriously, because and I just got when you were talking about, like doing it up and looking great. I love when you would do up your down to your ears. Oh my gosh. I was
I didn't
picturing,
really do that on tour either. I did it a little bit towards the end.
yeah, I loved it. It was amazing. I thought it was a whole earring, and then I was working on you one day and I was like, oh my God, wait, did you
Yeah.
bedazzle
Like,
yourself?
like you took the time to do that. Okay. Amazing.
And while we're on the advice train, another one that I got was, what advice would you give to somebody who is striving to be a pro dancer, hoping to look as fabulous as you one day?
Find your own voice in your movement. Like that, I think that's what really makes our cast so unique right now is that we have very, very different professionals, and it makes such a diverse cast in every sense of the word, as far as dancing, identity, personality. And I think that's like really what it comes down to is all of us just owning our own, like being able to be ourselves. And really, like, I hope when you're watching the show and you see yourself in that, don't think don't be like I want to be them, be like I want to be up there with them. Like have that be your thought process.
Oh my God, that is such good advice. Like, not
Yeah.
even just as a dancer, just in general. That is so good, Ezra. I feel like I'm gonna fast forward this and listen to like the nuggets of advice that you're giving and listen to it backstage pre-show. Because,
Not bad for a twink in his early 20s, right? Like not bad. Like
okay, can we talk about the fact that my husband knew before me what a twink was, what an otter was, what a bear was? I was like, how do you know? And
how do you, yeah, wait, how does he know?
he's like, I got that dog in me. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, I literally had to look it up after Riley and Ezra did a tour, did a TikTok on tour. I
Like,
didn't know
come
what a
on.
twink
You didn't
was.
know what twink was?
I didn't.
That's actually insane.
I know. I'm the worst.
No, like that's actually insane. Well, now you do. Like you got the best definition of twink right here. You
Oh my
got
God.
it right in front of you.
Wait, how old are you again, you said?
Before.
24. Okay, yeah. So I'm not even that much older. That's just sad. I'm turning 31 this year. Like that's not enough of an excuse to be behind with the times. It's
No,
fine.
like I think you're just like mentally locked in. Like you don't have to be glued to your phone. And that in itself, it's its own power that I do not have. So props to you.
For real, I feel like that's something I'm working on is not living under a rock, but it's tough when your business also ties to your phone, as you know, and engaging with people and trying to have that battery, but also wanting to be separated. So I feel like whenever I'm not working, like I want nothing to do with this, and then I'm just behind. So I don't know. It's a balance for sure.
Yeah.
Really quick, I want to ask a couple fun ones and then I will let you go because I know that you are busy, busy. What is something, and I want it to be good, either what is something embarrassing that has happened to you since you've been back from home, or what is something wild that people would not know about you?
Oh my gosh, I feel like my whole life is embarrassing.
Oh my gosh.
really trying to think like something embarrassing that happened to me like after tour. Wait, I can say
Maybe.
this here. Something wild that no one knows about me is I'm moving. I'm getting my own apartment. Yeah, I leave like I move in a week. Like, isn't that crazy? I've lived in this apartment for 5 years.
Oh my gosh,
Like,
congrats.
yeah, and also too, it's kind of sad because it's like bittersweet because like my whole like the whole like Dancing with the Stars, all that was here. So I feel like I'm just moving on from this chapter of my life, and it's like I definitely felt like it's time to move, but it's gonna be bittersweet. My sister's gonna stay here though, so she's gonna hold down the fort. Like I feel like ease knowing like I can just come back and visit, but yeah.
Oh, I love that for you. Congrats on the new place. A week. Oh my gosh.
I'm trying to think of something embarrassing. Oh, I don't know if I can say that. Ah, no, I can say it. No,
Do
honestly,
you
I
need to tell me
I
afterwards?
was just no. I was just at World Pride and they asked me to present, but they told me like when I presenting that I was gonna auction an item. Auction an item. Me, auctioneer? No, definitely not. I'm like, okay, work. The professionally was like, yeah, not even kidding you. No one bought it. I was like up there for 5 minutes and no one bought it. And it was like VIP tickets for the World Pride, but I don't think they realized like that people to go to that event, they needed to have a VIP ticket. So there you
Oh my
go. So
gosh.
I'm up there like, I'll give you a dance lesson on top of it. And I
Oh,
just, oh God.
Ezra.
I know. And my PR was there and she was like looking at me. I'm like, this is honestly though, like I feel like I was kind of like living for that moment because I just knew I was gonna have a good laugh. And like I was like going in the audience like, do you have enough? Like it was like insane. It was yeah,
I'm
that's my
sure
embarrassment.
you handled it with such grace.
I
I
tried to.
I had the dumbest moment last week, and I'm gonna blame prep brain. So I was driving, leaving a voice message for my friend, big voice message person. Like if I start to text, I'll either forget to text the person back or like I won't complete it and then I won't send it or like I'm terrible. But voice message, love it because it's like when I'm thinking about it. So I'm voice messaging and I'm driving and I had the most like grandma moment ever because I'm driving and I was like, oh my God, they really need to slow down. Where are they going in such a hurry? Ezra, it was a train. Trains go fast. I just like I said it because I was just in such a like, why are we hurrying? And then it's like I was like, oh my God, that's literally what trains do. They just go that fast. And it was like
I
I
wonder
just
if they'll
I forgot.
stop signs or anything.
I don't know. I was like, we're just gonna chalk that up to prep brain because I just like completely dissociated the fact of like what it was, and I treated it like it was like an actual person speeding because I like forgot it was a train. I can't explain it. It just felt so dumb. I just like and of course it was like on voice message. So my friend messaged back. She's like, "So we're gonna talk about that?" Like, like so I'm full of dumb. I At least I can blame prep brain, but I feel like I am just full of dumb moments. So I appreciate that you see me and that we are one and the same.
Also, like, what's prep brain? What is that?
Oh, so with me being like in bodybuilding prep, so obviously like calories are low, exercise is up, so it's like you're in prep. So like your brain cells, I feel like are just not communicating. So like you drop stuff more, you're sleeping less, like sentences and words are just bleh. So it's the perfect
Is
time to
that
podcast.
okay? Is that okay? Is that like good? Is that okay?
I mean, yeah,
I
like
guess I have prep brain all the time then, because
oh my
sheesh.
gosh.
Like, oh my God. I'm like, you're telling me you have an era where you're fumbling? I'm always fumbling. That's
Oh
crazy.
my God. Yeah,
Also,
it's
like, I'm not even a bodybuilder. Like, what? I'm not like, what am I doing wrong here?
hey, you know what? Maybe you can introduce the twink division. I don't
Yes.
know. Well, is there anything that we didn't chat about today that you would like to?
It's up. It's up. This is your podcast. Like, what do you want to? It's up to you.
I
I
don't think so.
definitely gave you the whole enchilada there, but if you want to talk about anything else, I'm always down.
No, I agree. I think you serve the whole enchilada. I just always like to ask people just in case I forgot anything, but I just so appreciate you coming on here and getting to spend time with you again selfishly. Next time I'm in LA, I need to make sure that I come see you because I just miss your face, or if you're ever in Arizona, because I'm just so used to seeing you every day. So it just makes me sad. But I'm really happy that we get to talk today.
Me too. I freaking miss you, and to your podcast listeners. Thanks for having me, and it's always just like such a pleasure. And every single time like we work together, it was like us, you like fixing my literal body, but also us keeking, and that was such a highlight for me. Like even when like maybe I didn't need something, like maybe I just wanted to talk, and maybe you knew that too. So that was great.
Yeah. Well, everyone, thank you for listening to Ezra. Make sure to give him some love. Maybe just message him your favorite thing about him. I don't know, gas him up. He probably deserves it today. So make sure to follow Ezra on all the platforms. If you don't already, I feel like they probably do, but if not, make sure to go give him a follow and make sure to vote for him on this season. Actually, yeah,
Ooh,
really quick.
favorites.
Do you secretly know more people that are supposed to be on there?
I mean, yes, I secretly know, but it's all like speculation.
Uh,
Like we know, I feel like what we know is like being in the inner circle. Like we know like pretty hard evidence, but like we're not going to say anything because it's not official until it's official. So
totally.
like
Yeah.
it's like always like mush until it isn't, and that's just how Dancing with the Stars is.
Feel like just the industry in general, even like me telling you like the bleeped secret, I'm like, I mean, I signed NDAs, but like, even though it's literally like in less than 2 weeks, I'm like, I think I'm going. Like,
Like I started like even me with my apartment, I like still haven't signed the paperwork. Like I called them, I was like, I haven't signed like any of the paperwork yet. They're like, we're just behind. Like, don't you worry. I'm like, am I actually moving? I don't know. Like we'll figure that out.
you will. Good vibes.
Good vibes. Thank you
All
so much.
right.
Thank
Of
you.
course. Everyone, thank you for listening. Make sure to share this episode, give Ezra some love, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye,
Bye
guys.
guys.